YouTube and social media. Peep this out, guys. It's Ian K back with another live stream for you guys tonight. Hopefully you guys are seeing everything clearly. You can hear everything clearly. Everything is looking like it looks good on my end. I'm just going to verify a couple of things and then we'll get started in just a minute here. NBA Finals going on right now, or they're probably just ending. I tried to get up right at the very end of this right now because I'm sure you guys are all watching this. So, you guys let me know if the Cleveland Cavaliers were able to hold off their lead. Chances are they probably won this game based upon what I last saw about maybe 4 or 5 minutes ago. But truly one of the greatest games ever in terms of just an amazing, amazing situation going on there, dude. Just truly one of the most intense, competitive games. You know, as much say what you will about Cleveland Cavaliers, you know, I'm sure there's a lot of fans out there, but they're going to have to really bring that type of intensity for the next 3 games straight. Truly an awesome situation there. So we'll give everyone just a minute or so before we get started, and then we'll get into a couple of fun things that I have reviewed. That's actually that I'm going to review for you guys. This is going to be a little bit of a packed hour, so let's just so you guys know, I'm going to be going till about maybe 10 o'clock, a little after. Since we are starting about 5 or 6 minutes past the time frame here, and it is like Friday night. I don't want to keep you guys too long, but I greatly appreciate you guys spending some time with me here. We're gonna get started here. How is everybody doing? First of all, let me jump on over to the chat window. You guys are probably seeing all this craziness around me right now in my background, but I've got my window open here, and I do see it on the screen. Great to be on here with all of you guys. We have got. It looks like Payne was the first commenter. Interesting name right there, Payne. Zane Abbas, Albert Rumpel, Metalhead LX, Mark Shelton, and myself, letting you guys know that we're going to be started here. Corpse Plague, Peter J. Food Reviews, how you doing, man? Glad to have you on here. Thanks so much for checking out the email that I sent you. And I just checked your response there, so we'll definitely probably chat about that, I'm sure. Bus Driver 7332. Great to see you on here. Sorry I missed you at Disneyland a couple of days ago. We'll be talking about that a little bit later into the stream tonight. But blast of a time over there. I'm going to tell you right now, Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout is no joke. Absolutely no joke. It was a lot of fun. They did a great job. Metalhead LX, Ian is awesome. I appreciate you thinking so. Thank you so much for that. Let's see. We've got Scott Matthew in here. What it do? What it do? Mark W. Andrew Todd. Excellent. Mike Dossier. Hey, Ian, can I ask you a question? Sure. Definitely drop it in over here. I'm going to answer a couple of things for you guys if I see anything here up until we get started on the review. I've got a live review of something that I totally did not think I was going to be able to get. And there'll be another quickie review shortly after that. So, yeah, we've got some stuff to go over today for sure. So, let's see what we've got here. Mark Shelton here. You reviewed the barbecue bacon crispy chicken sandwich at Burger King. Very cool. That was a lot of fun to do that, I got to tell you. Very awesome in terms of the quality lately from BK when it comes to their chicken sandwiches. So I do have to say some of their burgers definitely are pretty awesome there. They seem to be on a pretty good roll. And hey, the mac and Cheetos are back, right? I mean, that's always a plus. So let's see here. We have got... Hey, do I like the Avengers? I'm a fan of the movies, and I do have some of the comics, but I'm more of a DC guy, and definitely a fan of Wonder Woman. That was a freaking awesome movie. I gotta tell you, they did a really good job on that one. Let's see, Michael Jones, thank you for all your hard work you do to bring us your reviews. Thank you so much, Mike. I appreciate that. And the funny thing is, it does not feel like work, which is kind of cool. I mean, I have a lot of fun putting my content together. It's definitely a blast to do. And yeah, good times doing that. I'm telling you, I really look forward to putting out new content on the daily every single week. For those of you guys who don't know, I do put out content 2 to 3 times a week. We've got a live stream typically towards the end of the week, and impromptu sometimes. You guys may catch that, which is kind of cool. Let's see here. Mike, thank you for all your hard work. Okay, I appreciate that again there. I think I just reread the same comment, but thank you, Mike. Thank you so much. Mark W., did you ever go back and get the rib burger from Carl's? You know, it's funny that you mentioned that, Mark, because I actually did go today, and if you look at my Instagram, you'll see a picture of what I got. So I'm not going to tell you exactly what happened there, but I want you to jump on over to my Instagram at Peep This Out Reviews. You'll be able to find it pretty easy. And take a look at the picture that I put up from Carl's Jr. today. I actually did something a little bit different this time around when I did go back to get that. Let's see, Scott, are you into movies like the first Rambo? Absolutely. First Blood is an all-time classic. I do own it. Definitely a fan of the second movie and the third movie, which was just popcorn fun. But yes, a fan of the Rambo flicks for sure. And I'm hearing they're redoing that, I believe, in India with some guy who kind of looks like Sylvester Stallone back then, which is kind of crazy. Bus driver, what are you drinking tonight? Dunkin' Donuts? You know what? I actually forgot my drink in the other room, but I'm not going to leave right now until I do something in a little bit here. So you'll know when this actually happens. I'll be actually drinking something very, very soon. But no Dunkin' Donuts today. I did have that actually earlier today. It was my typical half coconut cream pie, half mocha, and a little bit of almond milk, which was a blast. So yeah, good stuff there. Zaina Boss, do you have a job like you do on YouTube, or do you have the job too? I do have another source of income, yes, besides YouTube. But yes, YouTube actually is a fun thing. It doesn't really pay a crazy amount of money, but what it does actually pay me, I do put that back into my channel, whether it's hardware, whether it's, you know, other stuff that I would need there. So yes, I do have some other forms of income, of course. Let's see, the endorsements in the house right now. Just launching his 2x Nitro Hot Noodle Challenge, something along those lines. I'm probably messing up the term for you, endorsement. I do apologize, but if you guys haven't checked out the endorsements review, it's his first time really taking on a super crazy spicy ramen type noodle, which is supposedly quote unquote 2x the Nitro. If you're curious to see how he actually did with that, I'd recommend you jump on over to the endorsements channel and take a look. It was actually a collab with a really cool channel called Critical Eats Japan, which is Paul, actually, for those of you guys who don't know. But really cool collab. I had a lot of fun watching those today for sure. Let's see, Metalhead, Tower of Terror or Mission Breakout? I'm going to say definitely Mission Breakout. And I'll tell you why as soon as we get past the regular scheduled content that I have scheduled for you guys here. Speaking of which here, let me jump on over and we will take a look at some content that you may or may not have seen just yet, because you know I love doing the follow-through. So let's switch on over and I'll give you an idea of what's been popping this last week. Alright, as you guys can see, it's been pretty eventful. I'll start off on the very bottom over here because we've got actually on this side, I don't want to hit the filter here from my condenser mic. Sweet and crunchy chicken tenders, the sweet and crunchy tenders from Popeyes. Without a doubt, definitely some really tasty stuff from Popeyes and a very unique type of coating. If you guys haven't tried those just yet, definitely jump on over and see if hopefully you're going to be paying the $5 for the combo, unlike some other reviewers that I may or may not know, or who you may or may not have seen, who have actually paid a lot more for it. But sweet and crunchy tenders, a shortbread cookie coating on the outside. Definitely a very tasty situation there from Popeyes. And yes, I know I always say situation because when you think about it, everything is a situation. So with that said, let's move up to the next situation, shall we? ExtraMostBestest from Little Caesars, definitely a really awesome deal for $6. I had a blast doing that. By the way, it's finally beginning to cool off here in Southern California, so we are definitely enjoying a little bit of a cooler situation in terms of weather. But a lot of fun shooting that one outside, and I gotta say, really, an awesome value for what it is. Personally, for me, I think pizza just looks pretty sexy on camera, and I hope you guys agree as well. I love filming it up close. Really delicious stuff there, without a doubt. Really close up, it looked great in the sunlight. Lots of cheese, lots of pepperoni, a very thin, crispy crust, and just overall a very nice entry from Little Caesars, especially for the value proposition that I say in the video there. Next up, the next closest one to being the newest is the barbecue bacon crispy chicken sandwich from BK. And I gotta say, you know, the BK situation over at BK, say that 10 times fast, is really a pretty good one. Nice quality. It's definitely an upgrade to the existing crispy chicken. I really kind of waited to see what they were going to do really differently with this particular sandwich. They've had like 3 or 4 versions beside the crispy chicken. You can get the bacon cheddar and the bacon cheddar ranch, I believe, which really wasn't too much of a change. But for some reason, this barbecue bacon one, I was just curious to see exactly how that barbecue sauce was going to be on crispy chicken that they serve there. So naturally, it was pretty tasty. And if you guys want to see what I thought of that in detail, you guys should definitely click those right there. Of course, everything I'm going to put down in the description box below once this video ends. For those of you guys catching it on the replay, you're going to see it down below as well, along with any super chat donations. If you guys are going to be doing that as well, I always link to channels that feel inclined to do that. So thank you in advance if you do, and of course we'll acknowledge that as we go. The most recent review is going to be right up on top over here. We'll just say this way. The jelly donut. Oreo. And based upon what you guys are posting here in the comment thread, or let me just swing over to my chat real quick here. I'm going to start from the very bottom, and I'll probably go up for anything that I may have missed here. But let's see. Peter J is asking me if I should do take on the 40 McNugget challenge. You know, I have chicken McNuggets more often than not, especially because they're free every time the Dodgers do a shutout in the 6th inning here on the West Coast. And every time I do go and get that $1 large drink for $1, I should say. I think I just spoiled it. I always get the free 6-piece chicken McNugget. So, you know what? I think I could probably handle that. And I may actually have to attempt something like that at some point. What it do to Monster Mash? Thanks for jumping on here, Monster Mash, as well as some of the familiars that I'm noticing here. Elizabeth Rickard, thanks so much. Yes, the endorsement lives because he is here in the chat thread. But how badly did he get through that challenge of that 2 times nitro is what you're going to have to see here. Michael Jones, have to say you're the best reviewer out there. Thank you. Thank you so much, Michael. I appreciate that. Tried the new BK chicken finally today. It's good stuff. Yes, especially when it is super fresh. Especially when it is super, super fresh. So, guys, with that, we are up here at the Jelly Donut Oreo, and I gotta say, it's probably one of my lowest rated reviews ever, and if that doesn't get you to check it out if you haven't gotten to it already, definitely not a fan of that particular one there. I kind of liken it to a certain particular gum that I used to actually get once in a while when I was a kid. If my mom or any of my family is watching this right now, hopefully you don't get too mad at me because I haven't had a cavity my whole life, so I guess I'm doing okay. I'm not really too super into sweets, but I do like my occasional sweet stuff here. But just know that the Jelly Donut Oreo, at least from my personal experience based upon my review, straight marketing at its best from the folks at Nabisco, which brings us to where we're going to be right now. And I thought I would jump into something that's kind of a continuation of that. And just to let you guys know, yes, I do have them right over here right now. And I actually lied the last time. I said I wasn't going to have one of these again. I actually did have one more just to kind of confirm after filming this live review a few days ago, and I still don't like it. So I'm going to be bringing these to some other family to have them try it and give it a go. But you guys let me know in the comments below if you've tried the Jelly Donut Oreos. How do they taste to you? And if you haven't commented on this review specifically and you want to put it there, of course I'll get to you and we will definitely get the comment replies back, as I love interacting with you guys. So, with that said, let's jump on in here, and if you guys want to hold off on just a few questions, I'm going to be doing kind of an interactive food review for you guys. I'm not going to be just totally neglecting the chat window as we go, because I want to keep it interactive. So if you guys are going to be focusing on some questions based upon what you're going to see, I'll try and answer them as quick as I can as I'm doing my thing here. If I see anything that looks like it needs to get into an answer right away. So with that said, let's jump on over to the next segment here, which is actually going to be the review of what we're going to be taking a look at right now. And for those of you guys who are aware of the latest Oreos that are out right now, there's actually one in particular, aside from the Jelly Donut, which is extremely hard to find because it is only in one particular store outlet across the country. And up until recently, I didn't realize we actually had them about 20 or so miles from where I live here in Pasadena. So let's jump on over real quick to the next window, and then we'll continue on. All right, guys, we are in the official window of the food review. Everybody clap, everybody clap. We're actually in a graphical window here. I thought I'd keep it a little bit more interactive. Let's get right on into it and see exactly what we're going to be taking a look at right here, I should say. And that is, without having to go anywhere into the Midwest, into the South, anything like that, we're going to Mississippi, because we're going to try the Mississippi Mud Pie Oreo. Now, this is something that I was always curious to try when I saw this was actually going to be coming out, because obviously, how can you really mess up chocolate cream with the vanilla in there? Now, obviously, they're going with the pie aspect, so I'm thinking this is going to be the creamier type of cookie in terms of what they're trying to simulate here. And just to be on the safe side, I am not going to be dunking these into milk, because I think if they're trying to give you that flavor of Mississippi mud pie, you want it to be in something that's you know, initially right there available to you there. You shouldn't have to say, like on the front of the package, make sure you dip this in milk if you're going to get the creaminess of the mud pie experience itself here. But it's artificially flavored, as all Oreos are, and I'm very curious to see exactly how this is going to be. Chocolate and whipped cream flavored cream. So I think this is going to be pretty standard for what I'm thinking. You guys let me know if you've had this already. Comment over here. Let me know what you're thinking of it. Very curious here. According to Elizabeth Rickard, she's an Oreo purist. She only goes for the OG, and I get that. This is a little bit closer to that compared to the jelly donut by far. But let's just get into it, and we'll give it a rating, and we'll see exactly how amazing it is. So hang on one second here. I'm going to open this up. I am not going to smell them. I'm going to let you look at them so you guys can take a look. Take a look, take a look. Grimace loves you. Where can you get those? I'm getting to that right now, right after we take a fast look at it here. But take a look. So far, it looks like you can kind of see the cream is spread out between the chocolate and the vanilla. It does look kind of cool, actually, I got to say, in the package. These are only available at Dollar General stores across the country. And like I said, up until recently, I had no idea this was available anywhere in Southern California, because Dollar General, as far as I know, is more in the Midwest, more in the South. Maybe on the East, I guess, to some degree there, but I've never seen one here. So kind of ironic that this was kind of brought to my attention after inquiring about this with an individual who shall remain nameless just for right now. But yes, very interesting, but I can't, wow. Guys, just as I'm talking to you right now, this has actually got a very strong, almost pie-like chocolatey flavor to it, or smell, I should say. I don't want to set myself up here because it is an aroma first, but it really is kind of strong. Almost like a chocolatey whipped cream type of situation. I'm going to be saying situation a lot because it's in my head right now. So please do not give this video a thumbs up specifically for that. If you guys can thumb it up, that would be great too, because we can help it trend. But wow, that actually is pretty decent, I do have to say. One more look at that before we pull one out. Let's get into the review and stop messing around. Give this a go here. I'm going to crack this open towards you. Take a look and see. A little bit more of the vanilla than anything else. Take a look at that there. Monster Food Reviews, Dollar General in Pennsylvania. Very cool, very cool. I had no idea, like I said, they were in Southern California, but let's give this a go. Just the cream by itself, because wow, this is actually pretty interesting already here. It smells very chocolate pie-like, if that's really a thing, because it really is different. So let me try it by itself, just the cream. Ooh. Yep. It's not the standard Oreo type of cream. It's a little smoother. I want to say almost a little bit more vanilla-like, but then that chocolate creaminess on the back end, gotta say, that's actually pretty tasty. That is actually pretty tasty here. Let's go for a bite right in the middle here so I can get both flavors here. Here we go. The Mississippi Mud Pie Oreos, exclusively to Dollar General. So far anyway. I hope these go national because I'm digging that cream already. Yep. Mark Shelton, what it tastes like? I gotta say, the cookie is simulating the pie crust in my head, because visually, you know, it's all about the marketing with Nabisco. The cookie crust, as you notice around the package here, pretty much is the Oreo cookie itself here. Creaminess of the whipped cream, and then the little bit of the light custard chocolatey filling on the bottom of the Mississippi Mud Pie. This is pretty close. I am pretty impressed with this. Wow. I'm really shocked right now. I am very shocked right now. Oh my God. Yeah, I don't think these are going to make it to any other member of my family in there. It's the same type of sweetness that you get from an Oreo. The quality is pretty tasty on it. But I do have to say, the creaminess of that whipped filling, the taste of the whipped filling, is replicated pretty nicely on this. It's got a light sweetness to the chocolate, a little bit more cocoa than a regular standard chocolatey type of Oreo than I think I've ever had. And then the vanilla-like cream that you're getting, which is simulating on the very top here, pretty tasty. Now, if you look closely at the top of this there, it looks like there's like chocolate drizzle. You guys can check out the chocolate drizzle that's in there too. I think that's just for effect. But I gotta tell you guys, really impressed with this one, and I'm really surprised for some reason that they would do the Jelly Donut Oreo as a Walmart exclusive on something like this and not bring this one out in a lot more places, because personally, I think this is for the hype. You know, it is what it is. But this is just a better tasting cookie, and it's actually really, really tasty, guys. So I gotta say, on that Bomb Sexy For Your Face scale of 1 to 10, the Mississippi Mud Pie Oreos, I'm gonna give this one like an 8.5 out of 10. It's not the perfect Oreo cookie, but it does pretty much do what it says it's doing here, which is giving you a Mississippi Mud Pie, or we'll just say a Mud Pie like flavor with these cookies here. I gotta say, it really is very, very nice. Smooth, rich, creamy filling. Combination of that chocolate and almost like a light vanilla inside the white cream, which really goes nicely with the cookie crust, which is simulated obviously with the Oreo cookie itself. So I gotta say, pretty bomb sexy on these guys. These are pretty good. I'm almost sorry I don't have milk here, just because I think that would make it even more creamier than what this already tastes like. So if you guys have a Dollar General anywhere in your area, and according to our fine folks here in the chat here saying here that there is actually one over in Pennsylvania. I've got one 20 miles from me here in Pasadena. If you guys do happen to have a Dollar General, these are exclusive to Dollar General only. Paid $3 for these, so you know, not too bad at all. So with that, just for this portion of the review, for those of you guys who are just logging in just to check out the food review, as always, I've got content every single week on my channel, so while you stay tuned for that next review, in the meantime, stay frosty. Wow. Pretty tasty, guys. Pretty tasty on this. I do have to say, pretty nice. So let me jump back on over before we move on to the next thing and answer some questions and have some fun with you guys as well. So let's switch on over. All right. Pretty impressive, guys. Pretty impressive. I do have to say, these Mississippi Mud Pie Oreos, no joke. Really tasty. I am really going to be trying those with milk a little bit later. Good stuff. All right. Bus driver 7332, which city did you find those at? I found them actually in Claremont area, right off of Central. Actually, I want to say probably Ontario. It's probably going to be into the Ontario area. But if you just Google or just go to the Dollar Store or Dollar General website and take a look there, put in your zip code, you'll find one. It's right on Central Avenue, south of the 10 freeway over there, Bus. So really good stuff on that one there. Anthony Bryant, welcome. My favorite Oreo is peanut butter. I have yet to try the Oreo peanut butter versions there, so that's probably the next thing that I'll try in there too. So, okay, just scanning through. Epic Zombie Killer, how did you feel about Walking Dead Season 7 as a whole? You know, I thought it was really good. I think they covered a lot of material in the most recent season of Walking Dead. Pretty much right up until All Out War, which is going to be the theme for the next season, and hopefully we'll get a little bit further in regarding the Whisperers and a few other things too there. I'm a huge fan of that comic series, and I've read everything currently up until where we're at now. So I'm really loving it in general there. I only wish Negan himself, and as much as I think Jeffrey Dean Morgan does a great job as Negan, I think they could have gotten somebody who's a little bit bulkier. I believe Henry Rollins was considered for the role, but didn't get it there. But for what they have, he actually does a really good job. Jeffrey Dean Morgan does a solid job as the character, and I'm glad they've kind of expanded him a little bit and made him less of a two-dimensional thug in the comic as he is there compared to the show, which is good. Liquid Snake, could E&K be the new situation? That's hilarious. Very possible. Very possible. You guys should start the grassroots effort. Everything is a situation when you think about it. Let's see. All right, going down the line here. Morgan, welcome. Thanks so much for jumping on. Voltaire, have you seen Wonder Woman? Yes, fantastic film. Really enjoyed it. Peter J, 20 miles. Wow, there's the... there you go. Very true. Dedicated to the craft. Philly Feet, would love to see you collab with the guys Corey and Sean from Number 6 with Cheese. I think that would be a lot of fun. I do think it would be an awesome collab as well. We'll have to see about that at some point in the future. They are definitely really fun to watch, and they do a hell of a job. Number 6 with Cheese. Definitely a fan of that channel and a subscriber for sure. Randy Chambers, Peanut Butter Oreo is fire. Nice. One Take Jake, Game 7 is in the books. I agree. Very cool. Thank you so much. Very cool. Welcome, One Take. It's great to have you guys on here right now. I missed all of you guys. I was on during an impromptu stream this past Saturday, just for a little while, just to say hi. So I was looking forward to the official deal that I usually do here on Fridays, and I'm glad to be on here with you guys. So, of course, I am looking forward to all the stuff I'm going to be doing later on in the week. But I do have to say, the capper of the week is always these live streams, because I get to talk to you guys directly. You guys get to talk to me directly. And we make a memory. I'm always very big about saying make a memory, because that's what life's all about. Make memories. Make good ones. Let's see. Earthbound. Yes, it has been a while. Good to see you on here. Let's see, Q&A. Hey Ian, do you think Heath will return? Well, I gotta tell you, since the actor who plays that character Heath on The Walking Dead just had the 24 Legacy show canceled, yeah, I think he's gonna be back on the show. I think we're gonna see him in the near future. Because they kind of left it very vague, Epic, in terms of him like leaving and kind of going off. So there's a lot that they can do there, obviously. So he needs to come back, personally anyway. If you know anything about the story, he needs to. All right, Grimace loves you. The Warriors let them win. Game 5. You know, sometimes I like to liken the NBA Finals to almost like pro wrestling, because when you think a team that's been steamrolling up until this point lets the Cavs win or just lets the next team like that, like all of a sudden they start messing up a little bit, or there seems to be calls that are questionable. They just kind of want to get you to the weekend to probably get the most audience. I firmly believe that they're trying to get to the next game, which is, I didn't check the schedule, but you guys correct me if I'm wrong. I believe it's Sunday, which I'm sure everybody and their mother is going to want to watch. So, of course, me included, everybody here, if that's the case. So, we'll have to see. Liquid Snake, have you ever played a game, God of War? Yes, I've actually played all of them, and they're freaking badass is what they are, especially the redo of number 3 on PS4, which is fantastic, by the way. Really, really good stuff. Morgan, I need to ask you a critical question. I hope you indulge me. Boxers or briefs? Yes. Let's see. I go between. And that's as far as we're going with it. Cole Randall, what it do, what it do? Bus Driver Sunday. Yep, see, yeah, it's going to be. That's what it's going to be. So, very curious. Epic Zombie, Q&A. I'm curious to know why you hate tomatoes. You know, a lot of people liken it to... at least me personally, something that happened to me when I was a kid. I've just never been a fan of tomatoes. It's just the texture of it, the raw tomatoes, the skin on the outside, the sliminess of it too. It just doesn't do anything for me. Now, granted, it's not the thing that makes the sandwich unless it's a BLT. I think you guys can all agree with that, right? I mean, if it says bacon, lettuce, tomato in the title, you got to have that on there because it's essential. But otherwise, it's just to add the moisture, and personally for me, the taste really sticks out. So unless it's something that's really hot or it's pureed, just never been a fan. Never been a fan. All right, Don Vito. Who thinks we should change Ian's intro to "We Got a Situation"? Maybe I should make a T-shirt. If you guys haven't jumped over to my Spreadshirt shop, you can find that link in my all my videos. Maybe I'll add one of those shirts. It's a situation or something along those lines. Drop those comments down below, especially on the replay if you're watching this here, and let me know what you think about that. Philly Feet, dream collab would be myself, Dame, Ken, and number 6 with cheese. Crazy awesome. Wow, that would be pretty crazy. For me, the NBA and boxing, well, all pro sports are rigged. Well, there you go. I think something is just a miss there, because you don't just immediately drop it, and I don't believe that the Warriors just got cocky and were just messing up and it was what it was. Granted, they were playing back in the home team against the Cavs where they were. But it's just, I think, marketing. It's very rare to have somebody win the NBA Finals, and correct me if I'm wrong on that one, outside of a weekend game. At least for me. At least for me. So, we'll have to see. All right, last couple of things here before we jump into the next segment. You guys are going to definitely want to check out what I want to talk about here. Let's see what we've got here. Midnight Mooing, were you at Walmart the other day? Yes, I was. I was actually at a few of them. Doing a couple of reconnaissance things to try and find some stuff. Anthony Bryant, saw your review of the jalapeno burger from Hardee's. Yes, that jalapeno double cheeseburger is pretty good. Cool to see that you refreshed with a cold beverage. Yes, jalapenos hot and on fire. They were definitely hot. Absolutely. Let's see. TDDSK, why skip me, Ian? Did I skip you? I don't see games trash. I see a couple of comments from you. I don't see. I'm sorry. I apologize, my friend, if I skipped you, but I don't think you asked me a question or anything. But welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Midnight Mooing, should have said hi. It's okay. You can say hi now. And I'm thankful we can chat it one-on-one here and have a conversation, which is kind of cool. Grimace Loves You says, what's your favorite thing off of the Wendy's menu? Wow. You know, I would probably have to say probably their Asiago ranch chicken sandwich that they have there, because I usually get that more often than not. I don't usually get the burgers, although the singles are pretty good. But their chicken is pretty awesome. As you guys usually comment on my videos, you guys are always letting me know that Wendy's has the bomb chicken sandwiches. They definitely do. And I do appreciate what they bring to the table with that. So really, really good stuff there. All right, so let's see here. Last couple of things, last couple here before we jump into the next segment. So hold off on any questions for just a second because you guys are going to see some fun stuff here. I can't wait to show you this, and then we'll jump into the next thing here. Scott, Don Vito, local celebrity. If you think so, if you think so. Scott, what soups am I into? My favorite is French onion. I kind of like tortilla soup, to be honest, aside from some standard chicken noodle, which it is what it is. Okay, jumping in. I think we're caught up just for right now, so hold that off there. And TDSK, I'm sorry for being so rude. I don't take it that way at all. It is all good, so do not worry whatsoever. All right, guys, I want to show you and take a look at, oh, actually, I want to give you guys a look at something that we're going to be talking about here because I saw something yesterday which I think just deserves mention for what it is. So without further ado, all right, we are back. So what did you guys think of the trailer? Because that's the thing I want to start off with right now. What did you guys think of the trailer to the new Mummy? Because it looked fantastic, at least to me. Very curious to see what you guys have to say about it in the comments here. But saw it last night, IMAX 3D showing. Second showing of the night actually that they had. So, you know, let me know what you guys think here. Let's get a little conversation going. I'll give you my little quickie review in just a second here, and I'll kind of riff off what you guys are saying about it here because really an interesting situation in terms of summer blockbuster movies and where I think they're going with it. But let me know what you guys think about the Mummy movie currently that's out in the theaters right now. Seeing a few things coming through here. Never been the film as The Mummy for my entirety. I think Jency Molina is saying there, trailer was dope. I want to see it in the theaters. Okay, we'll talk about it. I'm not going to spoil really anything from the film specifically. I'm just going to talk to it just a little bit. But I wanted to give you guys a quick look at the trailer to kind of set the tone, because what you saw in the trailer essentially is some of the major action points of the film there. I mean, that sequence in the plane, especially when they're taking the sarcophagus to somewhere, is pretty fantastic. I mean, it's a very visceral type of experience, especially seeing it in 3D. The sound was insane, and it was really very well shot, very well done. Yeah, I got to tell you guys, other than that, though, I mean, the movie, it's, oh, wow, where to begin? Where to begin? Let me just take a look at the chat thread here. Elizabeth Rickard, great trailer. I hate Tom Cruise, okay? Philly Feet, how does anyone know about the new Mummy reboot? Looks good. He's a fan of Brendan Fraser's movie 1 and 2. I'm a huge fan of the first Mummy remake in 1999 compared to this one. Just to let you know. I mean, this one had some okay moments. It had some decent moments. It had some visceral moments, as you probably saw from the trailer. There's some really, really fun stuff that you'd want to take a look at. But we'll get into it just a little bit here. Let's see. Don Vito, is it wrong for me that I don't want to see it because Tom Cruise is Scientology? It's not, it's your opinion. You're entitled to that, of course. I'm looking at the subject material, which I've always been a fan of the classic horror movie icons from Universal ever since I was a kid, the black and white movies. And that's really, I think that's really where I want to start with it personally, because for me as a kid, I grew up watching a lot of those movies, especially the old Abbott and Costello. You know, the crossovers that they had with the black and white, the Monster of the Black Lagoon, A Creature from the Black Lagoon, Dracula, Frankenstein, the Mummy, the Wolfman. Really, really awesome in terms of those characters from Universal from back in the day. And I remember that, you know, like it's really yesterday, because I remember, you know, being a kid, getting up Saturday morning, sometimes they would have these things. And for sure. So A20 GTX says he's late. How was the movie? I'm going to tell you right now. Let me start off by telling you guys, it's not the greatest movie ever. I mean, then again, it's hard to kind of say what's actually the greatest, but I can just base it off my experience of when I was a kid and what I expect to see. Let me start off by saying that for me, the Universal characters, the horror movie icons, they're all tragic characters, whether it's the Mummy, whether it's Frankenstein, like I said, even the Invisible Man. You have empathy, you have feeling for them because there's something that they've gone through that makes them evil. There's something that makes them angry, something that makes them lash out, you know, things like that. Punky, what it do, what it do. But let me just say that this movie is a very shallow type of cash grab to try and give you a little bit of that feeling. But I gotta just be honest with you, point blank, the Mummy herself, and I say herself because she's, well, it's a she, which we obviously know, she really kind of felt more like a supporting character in her own film. You were kind of made to kind of like, you want to feel bad for her when she's chained up, when you see her in that sequence where she's in the chains. But honestly, there's really nothing to kind of really feel sorry for. I mean, she's an evil person who commits an atrocity that gets her put into the sarcophagus, that gets her put away for a few thousand years. So I gotta say, just point blank, the movie is, it's a Tom Cruise vehicle, you know, as being like the hero, obviously, of the film. They kind of set up where they want to take this quote-unquote dark universe, which is all of these characters, and put them, you know, into like a whole universe, kind of like the Marvel thing there as well. I thought, for me personally, when the movie starts off, they kind of tell you it's the dark universe, because as the globe comes around, not to spoil anything, because I think a lot of people know, the dark universe is what they're trying to build here. The dark universe logo comes up onto the screen, just to let you know that this is part of something a lot bigger. And there is a sequence in this movie where they kind of show little quick blips of things when our hero, as Tom Cruise, is being brought somewhere, where you kind of see things in jars and things around, which kind of leads you to believe that we know where this is going. My major issue with it, however, is the fact of the lack of heart on the part of the villain for what she was just trying to accomplish. She just seems like an angry person trying to take over the world. There's really not a lot of meat there, because she's just, you know, wants to just bring death to the world and that type of thing. The major problem I had is actually Russell Crowe, which is absolutely, in my opinion, just horrible in this movie. The character that they're having him play, which I won't spoil here, is just not done effectively in terms of what they're trying to do. I think they tried to fit too much into what this is to let you know that there's going to be a lot more coming. And I got to say, it just wasn't what it is in terms of what it could have been, I should say. But they do obviously set it up for other films and things like that as well, so I guess it gets the job done. But in terms of what this is actually trying to do for the genre of horror, and to try and bring Universal into an updated version of their classic characters, it's a very, very small step, I think, in doing that. So primarily, if you've seen a Tom Cruise action movie, you know what to expect. There's a lot of running, there's a lot of like facial expressions, there's a lot of that type of, you know the type of acting Tom Cruise does. He does an adequate job of what it is. But this movie, in terms of just being a quote-unquote mummy movie, is a very small blip on the radar in terms of, I think, the previous trilogy, with the first Mummy from back in 1999 giving you more of that more mummy-like experience. Now, granted, some great sequences. Like I said, some of the creatures, some of the mummified things that happen are great. I think it's just really, really pretty fantastic in terms of what they did there. Good night, Morgan. Have a good one there for anyone of you guys, anyone who's tuning out at the moment here for the movie review. Thanks so much for jumping on the stream. I greatly appreciate it. We'll get more into a little bit more Q&A after the review. But just to wrap up the review, speaking of that, is it worth watching? I probably wouldn't say the first week or two. I think if this drops in price and you find it like at a cheaper theater, I'd probably recommend checking it out, because it is kind of a fun popcorn film to look at on the big screen. And like I said, that sequence where they're in the plane crash and that type of thing is just fantastic in 3D, and it's a major selling point of the film. But there is a lot of things that you've seen in other movies done in this movie, which is interesting. A lot of callbacks to, like, and I'm seeing right here in the chat thread here, American Werewolf in London. There's actually something from Philly Feed here where he says they need to redo the Wolfman. I'm sure that's going to be coming for sure, but I got to tell you guys, there's a one sequence actually from American Werewolf in London that they kind of steal from that movie in terms of how Tom Cruise is getting information throughout the film from somebody. It's very similar, and I won't say anything more than that. And obviously with the mummy itself, how she actually comes back to life and gets her life force back, it's very similar to other things that you've seen a million times. But very, very disappointing in terms of the build up to this. Now, I got to admit, I was a little bit on the fence with Tom Cruise in this type of film, because it's not something that I would expect to see Tom Cruise in, and I may think maybe that's the reason he did it. Maybe that's the reason he was offered it, and he chose to do it. And I'm sure he's probably helping out with some of the production or producing for some of the other things. Maybe that's why too. But just not the greatest film, to be honest. But do definitely check it out on video, of course, when it comes out. I'm sure a lot of people will. But this is not going to blow anyone's socks off. The action is pretty decent. But overall, it's just what they're doing with the characters so far. I'm just not feeling it. And especially Russell Crowe playing a particular character, which I think they rushed something with him to kind of show particular sides of him, I think could have been done a lot better, and by a different actor, I think who probably could have done a little bit better justice for what it is. So to wrap it up on that Bomb Sexy for Your Eyeballs scale of 1 to 10, aside from the amazing sequence of the plane crash and stuff like that as well, I'd have to give this maybe like a 6.5 out of 10. I applaud the effort. Like I said, some of the effects are great. Some of the sets look pretty awesome. It's mostly big set piece action segments there with very little outside of that. There's really just a lot of what you'd expect to find. And unfortunately, it's the summer blockbuster season, so people are trying to go for as much action and as much high adventure as possible. Personally, for me, I'm looking forward to Kingsman. The next Kingsman movie coming out, which is going to be pretty awesome too there. I'm tired of seeing that preview so much. I just want to get to it. But, yeah. Am I going to buy this movie when it comes out? I have all of the Mummy movies. I have a lot of movies behind me here. I'll probably add it, only because I'm expecting them to add a few things to the Blu-ray, I think, when that comes out. But as of right now, if this were to come out immediately, I would probably hold off on just a little bit there. So, yeah. That's my thoughts on The Mummy, 2017, I should say. And just a quick talking point here. The Mummy herself, she looks pretty fantastic in the film. I mean, she's got that sensuality. She's got, obviously, that's what works. That's what they're going, the angle that they're going for. I like the idea of the female mummy as well. She does a really fantastic job. I think visually it is a pretty awesome look for her. I just wish there was just a little bit more focus on just kind of being a little bit more in the area of Egypt, as well as kind of focusing more on the mythology, I think, of it just a little bit there. But for what they're trying to do, obviously it's a much broader picture. Those are just my thoughts on it there. So hopefully you guys enjoyed what I had to say about this one here. It's not total garbage, not total trash. I just don't think it's full price watching. I think if the price drops and you find it at like a cheaper theater, that may be the way to do it there. But that's just my 2 cents on the update of the Mummy here, especially considering how they left it. So we'll have to see. Okay, Don Vito. Let's see. Actually, let me jump in here. Hopefully, I'm not passing. If I'm passing anything that you guys want me to definitely acknowledge, you got some great stuff that you guys are posting in the comments here. We've got about 15 or so plus minutes left. Let me see what we've got. Let's see. 820 GTX Redbox movie. It sounds like it could be looked at as such. Yes. Let's see. Tom Hanks was in the movie. I would be happy to say, Tom Hanks, you saved your lives in the future. Just do it. Yeah, that would be. I think it's more. I think Tom Hanks in something like this would have been kind of interesting, to be honest. Tom Cruise. Kind of an odd choice. It just seems very strange to see the billboards and to see Tom Cruise in The Mummy. It's just strange to me. Mummy won't be the same, according to Don Vito, without Brendan Fraser. Brendan Fraser's crappy acting. Yeah, that's debatable, but I think I'm in that camp. It wasn't the best, but very fun film, at least the first one anyway. Ian, from what you're saying, despite you not saying so, it sounds like the movie might just be awful or below average. Well, I would just say average. I wouldn't say too far below, but I would say it's teetering right there. It's definitely could have been done a lot better. I think it could have been done a lot better. Warren Yaz, what it do? Gallup, New Mexico again. Thanks so much for jumping on the stream tonight. I appreciate it. Let's see. Adam Young, Bride of Frankenstein. Yes, Bride of Frankenstein is going to be coming. I'm very excited to see Javier Bardem playing Frankenstein, though. That's going to be cool. That's going to be cool. I'm hoping that it's going to be done by a different producing team compared to The Mummy, but I'm really excited to see what they're going to do with it. Philly Feet, Justice League thoughts. I don't really know how to say this too well here. For me personally, I'm not really a super fan of the cosmic end of DC, especially when they include Batman, because Batman is a vigilante that doesn't, can easily be killed even with his gadgets, with all this cosmic stuff going on here. But I do have to say the early clips and the early returns, I should say, from the trailers from Justice League look pretty fantastic. And obviously the worst kept secret of Superman being in it obviously is going to be there. But I just hope that when they do bring him back, he's in his black outfit with the silver S on his chest, all of the Return of Superman. That would be cool. But I'm excited to watch it either way. I'm definitely going to give it a go. I think a lot of people are, just for the curiosity factor. Warren Yaz wants to see the new It movie. You and me both. Very excited to see that. Adam Young, Sophia Boutella is the Mummy, folks. With Red Nova from Star Trek Beyond. Yes. Yeah, she does a fantastic job, like I said, for what she sells here. It's just that the materials she has to work with Can't really feel a lot for somebody who's just vicious to begin with there. You're trying to feel sorry for her in chains, and she's trying to reach out to Tom Cruise, and it's like so sad and all this stuff. I'm like, but you killed people. You got put in a sarcophagus for a reason. No real empathy there. Adam Young, The First Kingsman, fantastic. Let's see, Q&A, epic. Have you seen Fear the Walking Dead, and what do you think about it? You know, I do like that show. I don't love it because obviously it's its own thing. And I haven't watched the premiere from last weekend. I know it's a 2-hour deal. I actually have 3 episodes from last season to catch up on before it. It just shows you I've kind of lost interest in that in particular there. So I do plan on getting back into it because I want to give it a chance, and I'm hearing it's actually pretty solid so far with the premiere episode of Fear the Walking Dead. But I'm really looking forward to the main deal of Season 8 coming back, obviously the main Walking Dead show in the fall. But I appreciate the fact that we have something to hold us over until that time in October, which is cool. So, you know, hats off to AMC for doing the do and creating something that'll keep us occupied through summer. Philly Feet Captain Underpants, no interest whatsoever. And a yes, laugh out loud for me too. Not a fan whatsoever. Well, guys, we have about 10 or so minutes left here. Any questions that you guys have? Like I said, I appreciate you guys jumping on the live stream tonight, especially on an NBA Finals game night. I was really worried towards the end of the game. I'm watching the clock. I'm like, God, I think we have like 3 or 4 minutes. If they have fouls and they do call, you know, whatever they're going to do, is this going to stretch past that? You know, what's going to happen here? But I'm really thankful for you guys jumping on, spending about an hour or so of your time with me on a Friday night. I greatly appreciate that very much. Don Vito, thoughts on the upcoming Transformers movie? I'm a sucker for these. I own them all. Yes, I do agree. Mark Wahlberg is a great choice for the franchise, and I'm just a little concerned about this entry of it, though. I got to be honest, Don. It's I think it's time for a redo of Transformers to some degree. I know this is supposedly Michael Bay's last version, The Last Night. Maybe it's supposed to be that way for a reason. But I'm very curious to see what they're going to do with it there. How many times can the Earth be in peril, and to have things want to come and destroy, and the way that these epic moments, and you know, it's time. It's definitely time for a change there. Let's see, Warren Yaz, were you a fan of Sons of Anarchy? Not too much, no. I know a lot of people do love that show, Warren, and I really couldn't get into it personally there, so I really didn't follow that one too much. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, yes, I have seen it, and speaking of that, I do love the film. I was at Disneyland this past Tuesday, and I gotta say, fantastic time. I see Bus Driver asking me if I did any Disneyland reviews. Unfortunately, I did not. Because what I wanted to do, I couldn't. Essentially, they sold out of the sourdough Groot bread head that they have. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but they actually have a huge sourdough from what I thought was a pretzel in the shape of Groot's head that you can buy. They had a standard one and a jalapeno version. Apparently, they sold out by 11 a.m. that morning, and when we got there around noontime, there were none left, and there was nothing that I saw that really was sparking the interest because I was so down about not being able to do that. That was one of the major things I wanted to check out. Now I know next time that I'm going to be going there because apparently they have them delivered. They don't make them on site at California Adventure or Disneyland. They pretty much are delivered, so once they're gone for the day. So no bueno on that one, Bus. I couldn't do anything that day further. But we had a blast there. I did post a few pictures from the Guardians of the Galaxy ride, which I got to tell you guys, I absolutely loved it. I thought the setup was cool. There's a bunch of pictures you guys can see on my Instagram, at obviously on IG, at Peep This Out Reviews. Lots of good times there. The whole collector motif of going into his facility and then going into the elevator and then really helping them break out was pretty awesome. I got to tell you guys, it was really, really good. They just did a great job there. For those of you guys who have never been on Twilight Zone Tower of Terror, which is what it was before, the ride was essentially getting into an elevator that takes you to the top and it drops you up and down like in ways that's like zero gravity, and it really is pretty scary. This one, the redo of Guardians of the Galaxy, is similar, but there's something with Guardians that you're trying to break out the Guardians of the Galaxy, and as it's going up and down, it's stopping at certain points to give you an idea and an update as to what's happening. But there's so much more of that zero gravity and the dropping up and down that it was such a fantastic time. So the wifey and I had a blast doing it there, and I believe I have a picture I think I may have put up on Instagram. I have to check to see, but it was really good. Peter J. Food Reviews. Hey Ian, off topic, but how do you feel about YouTube collaborations? I think they're definitely a blast to do, Peter. I know I've done a bunch in the past, and I do have some in the future coming up, but it really comes down to the people and the type of connection that you have with the people that you want to do collaborations with. I think for me personally, I like to do collabs with like kind of like-minded creators that are out there for something that's like a natural fit based upon what your channel is, what their channel may be, and sometimes doing it completely different from the channel that you have, like a food reviewer like myself, or into, you know, a different type of genre or vlogger or that type of thing. I think it's important to kind of reach out and kind of bridge those gaps as well, because, you know, there's a lot of food review collaborations going on within the community, and I think a lot of people have seen a lot of the reviewers usually redoing the same types of reviews and the same types of collaborations. So it's trying to do things just a little bit differently to kind of branch out. But I'm all for it, for sure. If you find something that fits your demographic and it fits your channel, and it's something that you really enjoy doing, and they have the same type of, like, you know, riff off of what you do as well, and you really like their stuff and you watch their stuff, interact on their stuff, that type of thing, I'm all for it. Absolutely. Let's see, Don Vito went down the hill with each of those chains of movies. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, that's probably a topic to talk about in email from Peter. It's all good. I just gave you your answer, my friend. It's all good. Don Vito, Jurassic Park, Fast and the Furious. Okay, you'll never be able to beat the original cult movie. That's true, but they definitely try. And apparently the next Jurassic World is going to be a lot closer to the original movie, from what I'm hearing, at least in terms of the fear factor. And you need that in that type of film. I thought the first movie did a pretty good job, considering it was quote unquote a family type of, you know, movie. The book is far from it there, I got to tell you guys. Very vicious. If you've never read Jurassic Park the movie from Michael Crichton, you're doing a disservice to yourself, because it's viciously nasty. Philly, have a great night, you as well. Thanks so much for jumping on the stream. Gonna be on for another 5 or so minutes. Thank you so much. Have I ever watched Z Nation? Yes, it's actually very cool. I'm about to start season 3, which ended a few months ago, but I'm trying to catch up. But I hear it's actually dumb fun. I mean, that show is pretty good with the Murphy and everything too. So definitely a lot of fun. Don Vito went to the Tower of Terror when he was 10. Yeah, it was sad to see that go, but I'm glad it's what it's been reborn as, because it really is fantastic. It really is. Epic Zombie Killer Q&A, what's your favorite meal at Carl's Jr.? I would probably say the Western Bacon Cheeseburger. I got to be honest. Once in a while, that's a guilty pleasure. Yeah, it really is. Really, really good stuff. Let's see. Nintendo Mario. Have you ever tried Popeyes Sweet and Crunchy Tenders? Yes. I actually have. Earlier in the stream, I actually showcased a few of my pieces of content from last week. That was one of them, so definitely take a look. You'll find it in the description box down below. Once the stream ends, I'll put that in there. For those of you catching it on the replay, you'll find it there right now, which is cool. Elizabeth Rickard, who do you riff off of? Well, aside from other food reviewers, I gotta be honest, I like a lot of UFO channels, believe it or not. I think that would be kind of a fun type of crossover to do. Something completely different from what you've seen before. And I'm actually working on a couple of things there, Elizabeth. It's funny that you mentioned that. But I am a fan of all the food reviewers out there. So obviously with the endorsement, who I know personally, and you know, obviously everyone who I've worked with, if you guys haven't seen my YouTube collaborations folder, that'll give you an idea of who I riff off of down below. You guys can take a look and see the collabs that I've done and with who. But there's always the future for others that are out there. As always, for anyone creating content. Epic Zombie Killer, what are your thoughts on Spider-Man Homecoming? Well, aside from Spider-Man fatigue, because I gotta be honest, I do think that it is definitely a better representation of Spider-Man in the new film. That's gonna be coming out. I think Tom Holland embodies the old school Spider-Man mentality, which is I think what Marvel wanted to go for. And it's great to see that they're doing that. I just don't know about Michael Keaton as the Vulture. I know that he's Batman, and I love Michael Keaton in that role. So we'll have to see. But it looks like a fun film. I think it's gonna make $1 billion, and it's gonna be a lot of fun to watch. So of course I'm gonna watch it for sure. Philly Feet, one last one. Go back to Pink's. Yeah, Pink's was fun. I actually did that review with Ken Domick a while back there. Pink's Hot Dogs in Hollywood is really, really awesome. Just great visuals there. At some point, I do want to make my way back there. I am planning my LA Week series, but I have a bunch of filming coming up to do with that, so you'll be hearing more about that probably in a future live stream very, very soon. Let's see, Monster Mash, do you own an iPad? No, I have a Galaxy Tab S. Definitely love it. It's a small little, I guess the 8-inch version. It's definitely my Netflix machine for sure. Don Vito, they're making another Jurassic Park? Yes, yes, they are. Jurassic World is getting a sequel. Coming, I believe, next year. Next summer, actually. Monster Mash just got an iPad. Very cool. Bus Driver, great chat as always. Looking forward to your next review. Any hints on what it is? You know, I couldn't tell you right now because I'm pretty caught up on what I've got at the moment here. But I am scouring some things to do, so I wish I can give you a hint. But if anything, like I said, is interesting enough to warrant me putting something together, that's what I want to do, is bring you guys probably something you haven't seen before, or something that's new that's just coming out that I definitely want to check out, that hasn't been done like in the past, something like that. But keep watching, Buzz, and I greatly appreciate the support as always. And I'll try and catch you again next time I go to Disney. I know where to find you, so I'll definitely let you know. And of course, I'll post up and talk about it here on the stream to let you know. Jason Callan, what it do? Welcome, welcome. I'm just wrapping up the stream here, another 5 or so minutes. We've been going for about an hour. A lot of fun stuff to catch up on the replay, which will be live here in just a bit after it finishes processing. 820, I wish I could make $1 bazillion. Don't we all? Anthony Bryant, you and your wife have a strong relationship, also a cute couple too. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Keep praying for God and stay strong much. I appreciate it, Anthony. Thank you. I appreciate the kind words. It's very nice of you. Let's see. Don Vito, yes, agreed. There is some dumb moments in some of these things in the movies. Epic Zombie, it was his birthday yesterday, turned 20. Let's peep this out. Happy birthday. That's awesome, man. Congratulations. You have your whole life ahead of you. Every day is a new day to reinvent and try something new, so make sure you do. Make a memory every single day. Let's see. Peter, how many states have you visited? Wow. Pretty sad to say. I can count on in one hand, maybe like 4 or 5, from back east to the west coast, and a couple in between, if that, if you want to call it. Probably about 4 or 5, Peter, to be honest with you. Jason, would you ever do a review of Amy Baking Company? I don't even know what that is, Jason. But I'd be curious. Let's see, AJ Latouf, by far my favorite food reviewer on YouTube. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I appreciate you spending the time and reaching out to let me know that. I appreciate that very much. I have a lot of fun creating content for you here. Let's see, definitely happy birthday to Epic from Don Vito, here in Texas for sure. 820, I was in Texas last year. Good times, good times. Philly Feet, love the stream. First time will not be the last. Cool. Good night, my friend. I appreciate it. Thanks so much. A lot of fun putting this stuff together. The fun video of The Mummy and obviously the review coming out there. Really, really good stuff. Let's see. Epic Zombie, have you played Friday the 13th, the game? I have not. I do plan on it at some point, but apparently from what I'm hearing, it's a little glitchy. So I'm probably going to wait on that one there. I have too much coming up and too much that I've got going on here to really kind of designate. I'm still trying to plow through Alien Isolation, believe it or not, from a few years ago, because I'm just a fan of that there. So, you know, we will have to see here. Let's see. Peter, I'm surprised. You seem like a traveling type of person. Depends upon the situation and whatever may be coming up that I'll be out of town there, but it's really nothing in the foreseeable future just yet. That could change, though. Don Vito, upcoming next week, any review hints? I'm actually going to be doing a lot of filming this coming week for my series that I've been planning, my LA Week series. So there's going to be a few things that are going to be coming. So maybe some miscellaneous things in between while I'm filming, because it's hard to do everything. But just know that I will have my 2 to 3 pieces of content a week, like clockwork, every single week, because I'm dedicated to it without fail. It's been that way for almost 4 years. It'll be in August, believe it or not. So I've been really plugging away. 820 GTX, take it easy. Very cool. Jason, that was the Crazy Ladies restaurant from Kitchen Nightmares where Gordon Ramsay gave up on helping them. Really? Wow. Don't think I'll be going there then. That's probably a good thing there, Jason. Oh, good times, good times. Let's see. eman925, love peeping out your food reviews all the way from Australia. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that very, very much. I appreciate it really, really greatly there. Would love to try and get overseas and visit. That would be an awesome, awesome place to go. Australia is beautiful. Epic Zombie Killer. Have I seen Alien Covenant? Yes, I've seen it actually twice. And if you take a look at my content from my live streams, you'll find the Twix donut as the main thumbnail with Alien there on the side. I actually do a little quickie talking about what's going to be coming up for that movie in that obviously that stream. But the review is actually done the one after that. But take a look at that Twix donut if you want to catch up on some cool TV spots from Alien Covenant. It was a fun movie, but obviously had a few issues. Let's see here. Don Vito, Jason called. Jason Callan. Yes, Jason Callan in the house. Anthony Bryant, your YouTube channel is awesome. Keep up the good work with the videos. You're smart. You're a genius. I got that DJ Khaled voice. There you go. DJ Khaled. He's like eternally having his headache constantly all the time. DJ Khaled. But thank you so much, Anthony. I appreciate that very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And speaking of thank yous, I think I'm going to wrap up with that because I think that's a nice segue in there. So, Anthony, thank you so much for those great comments. And to all of you guys who have jumped onto the stream tonight on the game finals, actually, the NBA finals, I should say here. Like I said, I was worried about what was going to happen here with... Oh, hang on one second. There we go. We're back. I thought I lost you. A little worried about what was going to happen with the finals here in terms of that. So... if it was going to go over 9 o'clock, what was I going to do? But we're here and everything is great. You guys all jumped on. Last couple of questions. Epic Zombie Killer, what do you think of those Oreos? Do you think the Oreos will come to Canada? I would hope so. I would definitely hope so for sure. Like I said, I had a lot of fun taking a look at these Mud Pie Oreos from Dollar General, which I couldn't believe we actually have out here, which is crazy to me. And obviously the Jelly Donut Oreos, which were complete boo-boo. I'm telling you right now, these are the ones to find if you guys have a Dollar General in your area. It really is pretty awesome stuff. So really, really tasty with that in mind. So guys, with that, we've got Jason Callan. Last couple of questions here. Let's see, did you think of the ending of Credits Beyond? Reanimator had the best boxing match ever with the mouse, remember? Jason, I have to rewatch that. I'm going to have to go back and pull my copy off the wall behind me over here and rewatch that film for sure. Peter J, great stream. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Let's see here. We've got the last couple. AJ, you have to come to Sydney. You man would like to meet you. Very cool. Very cool. Guys, I really appreciate you guys jumping on. Like I said, pretty much every Friday we do this with the occasional impromptu review that I usually jump on live stream just to kind of film quickly to have something out for you guys here. But I greatly appreciate you guys spending a little bit of your life with me here tonight on the stream here. It's just after 10:10 my time, so we are just over the hour mark. I'm going to let this one process. The reason why I'm trying to keep these streams locked in at an hour or so is because it takes a long time for it to process and get back out to you guys. But it gives me time to do all my admin stuff to get it ready to roll. So with that, I'm going to close this one out right now. And guys, thank you, thank you, thank you. A lot of fun stuff again coming a little bit later into this week. You may have something possibly on Sunday. Haven't decided just yet, but we've got a lot of fun stuff coming on. So for any of you guys who haven't already, and if you're seeing this all the way in there, if you can give this one a big thumbs up, I greatly, greatly appreciate it. I probably should have mentioned that earlier, but there was so much NBA flurry of trying to get everything going. I wanted to make sure that this was live. So again, thank you. I know it sounds like a broken record. Thanks so much for jumping on the live stream. This is Ian K closing out another episode of Peep This Out live, or on the replay if you're catching this right now. With that, as you guys know, content every single week here on my channel. So while you stay tuned to the next review, I know this sounds like a broken record, but I just love saying it so much. So thank you so much again one last time. I know I'm screwing up the ending here completely, but I'm going to close it out. Thank you so much. I've got Don Vito giving me the thumbs up. Sunday stream from Don Vito. I actually can't do it on Sundays, and I don't like to overstep my bound with some other creators who are doing theirs around the same time. So Friday is my thing. I definitely love it around 9 o'clock. You guys can definitely find me on Twitter at Peep This Out. Instagram is Peep This Out Reviews. Facebook.com/Peep This Out. And then, of course, on YouTube, where you guys are hopefully watching this right now. Obviously, you guys know my channel. If you haven't subscribed already, please definitely like, share, comment, and subscribe. Of course, let's continue to keep that train moving. We just crossed 10,700 subscribers, guys. We're almost at the 11,000 mark, which is an amazing situation. You see, it's coming up again. So now I'm officially closing it out. Jency Molina, don't leave. I've got to go. I've got stuff I got to do tonight. But just know that this replay is going to be there for you guys to watch 24/7 as soon as it's done processing. I love you guys. And definitely stay safe this weekend. And by all means, get out there, make a memory, do something positive, create something at the end of your days. I'm telling you, you will enjoy life that much more if you just focus on the positives that you have going on, because it could always be a lot worse. And I'm not going to get too much more preachy with that. So, with that said, It's E and K closing out the live stream officially. As always, I'm going to do it officially for you now. I've got content every single week here on my channel, so while you stay tuned for that next review coming real soon, in the meantime, stay frosty.